Hello, this is Home Attack, and I just want to speak on this right now. This video uploaded by Arasaka David, I believe that's his name, claiming that Moonsault Slayer is wrong in his assessment of tracking in this game. And I honestly disagree with Arasaka David. I think Moonsault Slayer makes a valid point with the tracking in this game. And as soon as you see this, if you haven't already seen his video on this, you're going to know why I agree with Moonsault Slayer, because this doesn't look right.
The number one thing that's on my radar is like the tracking 8. And it's not really homing moves. It's moves that aren't supposed to home, but then they like realign and clip you. And not only is Kazuya doing twin pistons, but you can see he's rotating on the ground. He's rotating towards me. And then that second uppercut...
Y'all can't tell me that looks right. Look at this.
And not only is Kazuya doing twin pistons, but you can see he's rotating on the ground. He's rotating...
Why is he going all the way down to the ground? Look at it. Let's watch it again.
Home, but then they like realign and clip you. And not only is Kazuya doing twin pistons, but you can see he's rotating on the ground. He's rotating towards me. And then that second uppercut, look at how he starts to like come towards me and hit me. I tried to perfectly...
Why would that connect?
...behind him and then CD1 him in the back for a launch. And then somehow I'm the one who's getting launched.
Stop. I get the frustration. Tekken 8 can feel rough sometimes. Honestly, the heat system alone is enough to drive people crazy. But if we're being honest, the clip used here is not a tracking problem. It's a decision-making problem. The attack could have been avoided, but the player pressed into it, expanding their hurt box in the process. That's not the game-failing move.
He didn't step into it, no. No, let's watch it again.
The clip used here is not a tracking problem. It's a decision-making problem. The attack could have been avoided, but the player pressed into it, expanding their hurt box in the process. That's not the game-failing movement. That's committing at the wrong time. And this is what I don't like, how misinformation like this spreads. A bad clip, a frustrated player, and suddenly people think sidestepping or sidewalking is dead. It's not. I've beaten multiple God of Destruction players with characters where I don't even know the combos. Not because of big brain plays, but simply by properly utilizing sidewalking. A lot of players don't even know when to...
But dude, you're like 3.5, fucking 4 characters away for him to miss that. Moonsault Slayer still sidestepped enough for that not to hit.
To input a sidewalk, yet confidently claim that movement is useless now. Criticize when it's justified, but don't just jump on the hate train and follow the crowd. And believe me when I say this, I'm a huge critic of Tekken 8's gameplay design myself. Many Tekken influencers and even pro players and tournament goats are biased, and I am no exception. But be critical when it makes sense. Don't just repeat what everyone else is saying. This isn't about attacking a creator. It's about correcting a bad example. I run a YouTube channel where I share practical Tekken tips. Of course.
No. Just because... No. That still should not have connected. Let's look at that again.
Frustration. Tekken 8 can feel rough sometimes. Honestly, the heat system alone is enough to drive people crazy. But
you stepped all the way. You didn't sidestep. You went backwards, bro. In this clip you're showing us, to where he couldn't reach you. A sidestep should still avoid those twin pistons.
And then somehow I'm the one.
Look at how unnatural this shit looks, bro.
Look at how he starts to like come towards me and hit me. I tried to perfectly spin, get behind him, and then CD1 him in the back.
He's all the way. Kazuya's contorting his entire torso backwards to hit that uppercut. Prior to Tekken 8, you would never see something like this. This looks very unnatural. Prior to Tekken 8, you would not see this. You would not see this in Tekken 7, 6, or none of that. No. Look at this.
And then that second uppercut, look at how he starts to like come towards me.
And if Moonsault Slayer didn't sidestep right, then how did Kazuya miss the first punch? That's another thing. Like,
but you can see he's rotating on the ground.
Yeah, why is he all the way on the ground? Why is he all the way down there? This is what Mike ATL was talking about when it came to Tekken 7. of not real Tekken, moves that are not real Tekken, but you're breaking the laws of the game. If a move is supposed to be a mid or a high, why are you all the way on the ground? Why is it hitting low? When has Kazuya ever dipped all the way to the ground to hit uppercut? To hit a twin pistons? You've never seen this before, bro.
Opposed to home, but then they like realign and clip you. And not only is Kazuya doing twin pistons, but you can see he's rotating on the ground. He's rotating towards me. And then that second uppercut, look at how he starts to like come towards me.
Exactly.
I tried to perfectly...
Bro, Moonsault Slayer is all the way in back of him and he's hitting the uppercut. But you mean to tell me that this is not a tracking issue? Really?
Ground. He's rotating towards me. And then that second uppercut, look at how he starts to like come towards me and hit me. I tried to perfectly spin, get behind him, and then CD1 him in the back for a launch. And then somehow I'm the one who's getting launched.
Stop. I get the frustration. Tekken 8 can feel rough sometimes. Honestly, the heat system alone is enough to drive people crazy. But if we're being honest, the clip used here is not a tracking problem. It's a decision-making problem. The attack could have been avoided.
It would not have been a decision-making problem in the game prior to this one. That's the problem. If you want to make an argument that, okay, the tracking is better and Tekken 8 is more powerful, okay, I'll give you that argument. Okay, they made the tracking better, so you can't just sidestep everything, but this was not a thing in prior games.
But the player pressed into it, expanding their hurt box in the process. That's not the game-failing movement. That's committing at the wrong time.
Then why is Kazuya all the way, like, he's contorting his entire torso. His entire upper body is turning all the way around to hit somebody in back of him, folks. I'm sorry, I'm not defending that. I don't hate everything about Tekken 8. I think Tekken 8, some people say Tekken 8 looks bad graphically. I highly disagree with that. I think Tekken 8 has some of the best designs out of all the games. It's been a while since we had like very good character designs in Tekken. Tekken 3 is still number one in my book. But look at Nina in Tekken 8. Nina has hardly ever looked better than what she does. Look at Yoshimitsu in Tekken 8. One of his best character designs, hands down. Only Tekken 3 I would rank higher. Only Tekken 3. So I think people are, because they hate everything else about the game, now they're, coming at the graphics and shit. I disagree with that. I think Tekken 8 looks great. Graphically, aesthetically. But stuff like this, no. Oh, no. I think Tekken 8 it's a fun game, but it's not a very good game competitive-wise because of stuff like this. The heat system, way too many moves go into heat. We got to talk about it. Like, they really wanted to make this a casino game with a bunch of heat moves. One example is, like, they're even adding more moves going into heat. This is a problem. Now that goes into heat. That did not used to go into heat. This affected my choreography of Lee. They're changing around how you do certain moves for whatever reason. I don't know why they're doing this, but it is what it is. Why did they need to add more moves going into heat? So they want you to do nothing but use the heat system? That didn't used to go into heat either, I don't think. Now this goes into heat. So everything's just going to go into heat. Certain things they did balance in Tekken 8 during this season patch. But Why are so many moves going into heat? I mean, I like that move, but you gotta be in already in heat to do that. Okay, look, man, this doesn't make any sense, bro. The tracking was not like that. When we saw in that clip of Arasaka, him claiming that Moonsault Slayer did not sidestep the right way. He did, but it's like Arasaka. We saw Arasaka basically like he was like all the way across the screen sidestepping, so he wasn't going to get hit by the Twin Pistons anyway. Y'all see the clip? No, Moon knows what he's talking about, bro. That didn't look right. And now they're adding more moves going into heat. Oh, that's going to make Anna and Lydia even worse. I think Lydia's the worst out of everybody. But Anna is either Lydia or Anna, whatever, it doesn't matter. Like I said, I'm not necessarily on the hate train of Tekken 8 either. There are things that I like about this game. I love the way this game looks. I think this is a beautiful looking game. I love the aggression to a degree. I think the gameplay is more fun in this game than in Tekken 7. But some of this stuff I highly disagree with. This game is not very good competitively. If everything goes into heat, and I've said this during the beginning of me owning this game, I'm like, yo, too many moves go into heat. To the point where you may go into heat by accident. This is before now. This is during season 1 I've been saying this. This is the problem. I think the biggest problem with this game is the heat. They should have made it like Tekken 7 to where if you're low on health, you can go into heat. I think that would have been a better idea. Instead of just going into heat at any time. And then you got the meter that slowly goes down or whatever. So you got a lot of time to damage your opponent with heat. Okay, I don't mind the aggression in this game, but it's like the first person that goes into heat wins the round. That's broken. And it's just offense. You got chip damage, right? Chip damage I'm not too much against because realistically, just like armor moves, realistically, if King tackles you, right? This big ass 6'6" wall of muscle shoulder tackles you, more than likely he's going to just run over you. Okay. You're still getting hit by that. So, okay, certain things, all right, I could kind of overlook. But why do you gain health for doing moves? The chip damage, okay. You can block something and it'll still hurt. Realistically, that could be a thing. But why are you gaining health for doing moves? All right, wait till Reina starts hitting her. Look at her HP, bro. Why is she gaining HP? Simply for attacking. Is that realistic? Huh? So, yeah, anyhow, I don't know. I think the reason why I somewhat have been defending Tekken 8 is because I understood what the developers were trying to do. They were trying to make the gameplay more exciting. They didn't want to make another Tekken 7. They wanted to build off of what Tekken 7 was on because Tekken 7 was so successful by the end of its run, right? But the problem is Tekken 8 doubles down on what Tekken 7 did wrong. And this also affects my choreography because my choreography, yeah, it is still my style. I still do the same things I always do. I organize the moves. And when it came to Tekken 7 and Tekken 8, I'll save the rage art for the end. So it can look like a real like Tekken match, like what you would see in like, I don't know, like an action film or something. Instead of winning like with a jab or a kick or something. Like I want the ending to mean something. Like before Tekken 7, there was no rage art. So what I did was use smites, like unblockable heavy attacks. And so the KO looks good. Paul knocked you out with his burning hammer. Makes perfect sense. Huang knocked you out with his power blast. The Jacks knock you out with their power greeting or whatever these moves are called. It's forward 5 plus 2. I mean, 4 plus 1, whatever. Eddie knocked you out with his fruit picker. Like, these are just things that just make sense from a choreography standpoint. Right? The rage arts look kind of stupid. Even though they look better in this game, they're kind of stupid. But whatever. I can look past that, man. And we had rage arts in Tekken 7, and now we don't hate Tekken 7. So, but yeah, Tekken 7 really started this trend of like cheesy gameplay and just this casual, friendly gameplay. And I say it affects my choreography because I'm going to choreograph the game as if it was kind of like how it's meant to be played, despite still having my own style. Okay, you put heat in the game, so I'm going to use heat. But I do it in such a way to where it looks better. Like here. See how I waited till I'm going to end the fight to use a heat burst? I go in the heat so I can use a heat burst. Stuff like that. So my choreography still makes more sense as to what would make this game look better. But the game is so offense heavy that, and the characters get KO'd so easily and so fast in this game to the point where I really have to dumb down the moves. I can't do a whole lot of moves. Then you got characters like June that's hurting herself as she's doing moves, even though she's broken. It's really I don't understand it, man. Stuff like that is what I have an issue with this game. That makes it a bad game competitively. That you can't tell me. I mean, like, I didn't want to admit that this is a casino game, but after I started really analyzing this stuff, I'm like, yeah, this really is a casino game. Maybe not for the top evil players, but for everybody else, like. It's like, do you not want us to win by skill? I don't know, man. I just have mixed feelings about Tekken 8 in general. You know, like I'm not on a hate train. I'm kind of like, it's more like a love-hate relationship I have with Tekken 8. You know. So yeah, that's the video, man. I'm sorry, Arasaka. I'm not defending that, bro. You were all the way across the screen. You were all the way across the screen, sidestepping. Whereas Moonsault Slayer just did a regular side step. It still gets hit because he contorts his entire body all the way around, and he's dipping all the way to the ground to hit an uppercut. Come on, man. I'm not defending that. I'm not defending that. So yeah, that's the video, y'all. Peace out. Like, share, subscribe if you want more videos like this. Peace.